Hey, don't enter the temple. Don't touch this pickle jar. You know we're not to talk about this in the public. Don't you know it's that time of the month? Every time these lines were spoken, it felt like a curse, like your body was betraying you. Today, in our conversation, we are breaking the silence around periods and the centuries of shame, superstition, and stigma that have made women feel like they're dirty, dangerous, or defective. Because menstruation isn't a taboo, it's biology, it's power, it's life. And if you've ever felt like something was wrong with you just for bleeding, this is exactly what you need.
So I was reading a blog online about endometriosis, which is this chronic illness that a lot of women suffer from that causes more pain during periods, more pain during sex, and typically surrounding your pelvic area, a lot of discomfort. And it's a very debilitating chronic illness.
Oh.
And did you know that there has been more research done on male pattern baldness than there has been on endometriosis?
Interesting.
Yeah, and it typically takes about 7 to 10 years to diagnose a woman with endometriosis.
Oh.
Yeah, and given how much it affects a person's life, a person's sex life, a person's health, it takes 10 years to diagnose someone with this. And women often get told that their period pains are normal, when it is not normal to not be able to physically get up while you're on your period.
Exactly.
So, you know what's even more ironic about male pattern baldness research is that the pills that people take for schizophrenia, so to tame one of the side effects for schizophrenics, so the eccentric behaviors and things like that, the pill was only discovered because researchers were trying to solve male pattern baldness.
Oh.
Yup. It was, I believe it's antidepressants. That's what people reported feeling happier after taking the pill. So they from there they started other research. Yeah. And so from there I just had this question for you. To what extent do you think that this male dominated history of medicine has influenced how menstruation is understood and treated and funded generally in scientific fields?
Well, that's a very, very broad and something which is really concerning, because I think it's not only the medical industry which is male dominant, it's pretty much every other area. And if there are glass ceiling effects, we see it, oh, yeah, women are making their name in these fields. But the fact is, you look at the percentage. How much is it? So with regard to even the medical field, I feel like there has been a domination. And even for the women, again, even if women are making it to the male dominant industry, they feel like, oh, they have to fit in this culture and probably adjust their ways or mend their ways of looking at things the way this industry views it. Because if they don't, they'll be kicked out.
Yeah,
They will lose their position.
I mean, for sure. I completely agree with that. It's also just because, I mean, it's so prominent that at first when medical trials first began, they didn't use to test women, right? So immediately we're set back so many years when it comes to understanding female issues, period specifically. It's something that is so common, happens every month, happens to 99% of the women, right? You have your period, you menstruate.
Yeah.
Yet it's so, if you ask someone, what is your period? What happens during your period?
They don't have much to say.
Nothing to say.
And the fact is, they view it as if you're talking about something alien.
There's this big taboo surrounding periods. It's like immediately you bring up menstruation. No, you can't talk about it.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to whisper.
You know, the male members of the family should know. Yeah, it is prevalent in certain cultures. It might sound weird.
It's not proper. It's shameful. You can't speak about it. And this topic of shame is so deeply intertwined with periods, right? From your first period, you don't tell anyone. You have to, put your pad in your pocket, put your tampon in your pocket, hide it underneath your jacket.
Exactly. And the interesting thing was, it just happened to me recently when I flew back to my home country. I went to get a sanitary pad and the person was wrapping it in a newspaper and really? And I was like, what? I mean, okay, if I ask ask you for a pack of cigar, would you do the same? If I ask you for a loaf of bread, do you do the same? Well, no. And the person was wrapping it like 2 or 3 layers of the newspaper, and I asked my mom, why was he doing it? And my mom was like, probably he's unaware.
Yeah.
But why do we just let it go that way?
We're so used to it. It's
And
such-
I was shocked. Like for me, it took a very hard time, and I was disturbed by that.
Yeah.
I was like, well, these are the subtle ways that we foster certain taboos and superstitions around it. The thing that, oh, well, you know, in every family, yeah, we want a grandchild, we want grandchildren. For reproduction to happen, periods is important. If you do not menstruate, you cannot become pregnant. But the fact is, we attach a connotation of being dirty during that time. Oh, and then there are a couple of superstitions that come along with that.
100%. Like I was talking about shame before, right? It's instilled in you from such a young age. You have your period, there's shame associated to it, and I don't understand it. And honestly, I was victim of that shame. It was like, oh, it's your period, it's embarrassing. I don't want to talk about
Even
it.
I felt that way. I was like, what is wrong with me?
And I'm like, why? And now the more I think about it, I'm like, why is it embarrassing? And who's benefiting from this silence? Because it's not women. For who are we whispering for?
You know, what's interesting is, because I haven't looked much into the history of this, but one thing I realize is, I feel like it's not even the men, but it's women who keep fostering this cycle. Have you heard your dad coming in, or have you heard any male member of the family coming in and be like, hey, shh, it's periods,
No.
don't talk. All these kind of superstitions that we come to know. Have you ever seen a man stopping you from entering a temple and be like, hey, listen, you're on your periods, you better don't come? Have you seen that?
No, never.
It's a woman who's going to stop. It's your members of your own family, the female members, would be like, shh, no, she cannot, she's not well. And then we attach this concept
She's
of,
not well.
she's not well. I'm like, what?
Actually,
What is wrong with
I'm
this?
perfectly healthy. Thank you very much. I hate that she's not well.
Exactly. I was just I came across this conversation of one of the Indian actresses, and she was talking about, oh, well, when I got my first period, my family, they celebrated it with a cake, and we had a cake cutting and things like that. I'm like, wow, that should be the way.
Yes, it should.
It's a milestone. It's a demarcation of that. Yeah, the person can now produce life. And what is what is the point of hushing it over and be like, shh, you shouldn't be talking about, oh, it's a taboo thing, and you're not well. You should rest in you should go to your room and rest. Rest for what? I mean, as long as, yes, there are period cramps or something, pretty normal. But if you're okay, if you can walk around, there have been superstitions around, oh, do not go into the kitchen. I mean, there are a couple of things, and for me, it was absolutely shocking the day when I got to know, oh, yeah, you shouldn't be playing sports, and you should keep checking your pants again and again. I mean, okay, well, but don't be too obsessed about that.
Yeah, for sure. No, you mentioned how it's women perpetuating this cycle.
Yeah.
It's crazy because all this shushment is to spare men from the discomfort of speaking about menstruation, right? And it's crazy that they don't need to do anything about it. The women are completely handling it for them. It's like, you know, like my mom. My mom taught me hide my pad. It's like, don't talk about it. If you're on your period, just say you're ill, you're sick. She's doing the work for others because it makes men uncomfortable to speak about it. But not, you brought up a valid point, not just men, because I don't know if you've ever heard this, but when you're in the bathroom, you're opening up your pad or your tampon, have you ever tried to open it silently?
No, I've never done that because I would be like, oh, well, I don't care.
I've done that. It was like, I don't want anyone hearing it. And it's a very common thing. It's like, and then at some point when I was talking to my friend, I was like, yeah, like the bathroom was so quiet and I was opening my pad and I was making noise. And I was like, why am I doing that? Like, we're all women. I was in a women's bathroom. Why am I quietly opening my pad? And it just goes to show how deeply these tiny little things are rooted inside of you. Even if I like to think I'm very open. I like to think I'm very, a progressive woman. Well, then why the heck am I covering the sound of my pad opening?
I can.
Why did I do this? But yeah, it was crazy to me that I was trying to hide the fact that I'm on my period in a bathroom surrounded by women. Why was I covering it?
You know-
and not once. I've done it for a long time. It's just I noticed this once and I was like, huh? How long have I been doing this for? Why am I doing this? And it's absurd. It's like, who am I hiding this for? Why am I hiding this?
Exactly, and the thing is that all of us are advocating for, oh well, yeah, women are the ones who are producing life. Then why do not we worship this? Why cannot we celebrate this?
Yeah.
We're like, oh well, yeah, this is the dirtiest thing happening to a woman. She should be secluded. She should be separated. And the interesting thing that you mentioned about men, yes, there are certain societies and certain cultures where men might consider, oh, that's a woman's problem, a woman's, it's usually labeled like that. But there are also men who are open and willing to understand. Because when I started talking with my brother about it, he was like, well, yeah, I want to know more about it. What is it? And things like that. So for me, I feel like it's not even men who should be considered as the ones who are trying to impose this, but I feel like it's somewhere deeply entrenched in women that they don't want this thing to be discussed. Oh, the male member should know, your brother should know about this. Why not? Probably he's gonna be with a girlfriend sooner or later, and if he doesn't know.
Exactly. You know what's crazy is that I recently had a friend. We were at a beach and we were about to go into the water, and she was like, oh, I wish I could, but I can't. And I'm like, oh, like why? Like what's wrong? She's like, oh, it's that time of the month. Oh, how I hate that saying. What do you mean it's that time of the month? It's so, this expression in itself is so misogynist.
Exactly.
It is so annoying. It is so frustrating because it's used to undermine a woman's feeling. No, it's not that time of the month. You did something, I'm frustrated, accept it. Own up to it. It's not because I'm on my period. You know what's crazier? When you're on your period, your levels of testosterone are higher. For those of you who do not know what testosterone is typically a hormone attributed to men, to male attributes, to male physical attributes.
Yeah.
So really, when it's that time of the month, it just means women are acting more like men. And so if that's that much of a problem to you, you know, it's only because you're recognizing yourself. That's what it is. I mean, it just bothers. There's so much misogyny covered in what a period actually is. And sorry, I got distracted from my story, but as I was saying, my friend, she was on her period. And I was like, why did you say it like that? Like, it's just, you know, if it was a guy around us, I'd be like, okay, I can understand. You're a little shy. It's just me. She's like, oh, well, you know, like I have a bunch of brothers, so I'm just used to saying it like that. And I'm like, your brother isn't 5. Your brothers are adults.
Exactly.
18 plus. Most of them have girlfriends. So she's like, yeah, but they're just guys. And I'm like, no, they're not just guys. They're grown human beings.
Yeah, exactly.
The fact that they have girlfriends and they're still so odd about talking about a period. No, it's, you know, it's always miracle of life until you actually want to talk about the anatomy of it. It's not a miracle. It's hard work. Okay? It's not a freaking miracle.
That's right.
Don't call it. You just want to. That's what I mean. It's a glorified prison. What do you mean? It's not miracle of life. It's hard work. It's anatomy. It takes energy. It consumes your whole body. Don't simplify it as a miracle. It's not a miracle.
I just really love that the way you just put it in, because that's the thing. There is so much silence around this for no reason. And even if say for instance, if the guys do not have girlfriends, regardless of that, that's a human process.
Yes.
We all humans need to know about that. And I don't understand why do we want to hush certain things about it's a medical term. It's a medical thing. And the problem further on with this is, what about women who have issues with periods, the PCOS and the PCOD? Many are not even aware of that. Unless it hits you or it hits someone in your family, then you start educating yourself of this. It's so important to understand. And then we are too quick to say, oh, women are physically weak. Well, are they?
I mean, if you see, there's a bunch of pain scales, different from different universities, different researchers. Period cramps are always on that scale. You know, it's not something that's like painless. For some people, yes, but like you were saying, there's many conditions. Like I spoke about endometriosis, that is painful, and because of this silence, this like, you know, it might seem superficial, but it's not. This silence is preventing us from researching it,
from seeking medical care. There are so many women who die just because they have to maintain that hush around the topic and just bear things, when in reality it's not even correct.
I think, people might think that we're exaggerating when we say die, but women who have endometriosis and it goes undiagnosed, and like I said, it can take up to 10 years to diagnose, they can form cysts that need to be surgically removed from their uterus. So yes, we are not exaggerating when we say you can die because of this silence. It all starts in the silence.
Exactly.
We are so behind in research involving periods or the uterus, so behind simply because of this silence. We need to speak about it. Now it's becoming more and more prominent, but we're already years behind in research.
Exactly. Like even if we say, oh well, the research has uptaken or whatever, we have started doing those things, well yes, good luck. But the fact is, it is still a matter of silence. I'm not talking about specifically about a particular culture, but there are many cultures around the world that still love to maintain that hush around this, that oh, we shouldn't be talking about this, it's not right, it's dirty. Or probably I have seen certain schools where if it's a co-ed school, teachers feel uncomfortable talking and they'll be like, oh well, let's take girls to a separate room and talk with them about this. Excuse me. As much as girls need to know, so do the boys of that class or anybody else.
And that's where the silence starts. You're teaching those young girls that it's awkward to talk about it in front of them. All these little things matter.
They accumulate.
That's their first impression. Oh, you're talking about periods and you want us to be separated from the men? I can't talk about it in front of men.
So now, even as per psychology, there is a conditioning which has happened. And once it's conditioned,
It's
and
hard
you
to
learn
break.
to associate periods plus silence is safety.
Exactly. And that is hard to break, especially when you learn it from childhood.
Exactly. And that's where you don't even question, because as kids, you're asked, well, you just take the orders from the authority, you better don't question.
Yeah. And then on the men's side, it's very much, these little jokes that they make that, oh, it's that time of the month, that's why she's cranky. A lot of people, a lot of guys, and even women, I've heard women make these jokes. It's not just jokes. People don't understand. When you repeat it enough times, it's not just jokes. You take it to a deeper level. Unconsciously, it goes to a deeper level. And it goes up to the workplace too. To the point where it's like, oh, she got angry during a meeting, she must be on her period. Or maybe she has a valid reason to why she's angry.
Exactly. I mean, there are multiple conditions, medical conditions that operate, which we ourselves are not aware of. And diagnosis take a lot of time. There are many diseases which are not diagnosed unless it turns into a full-blown issue.
Yeah.
And just according some behavior to periods, is that the level of compassion we have towards others? And that clearly shows how much compassionate you are towards yourself first. Because if you can pass certain derogatory comments, and we think it's just entertainment, it's just joking. Well, know the line between dark humor and what is a humor. There's a very fine line, and we think, oh, once we have cracked a joke, which is a dark humor, we say, oh, well, oh, you're sad? You're offended? I was just joking. And that's how we try to play around. When in reality, we need to have a sense of compassion for the other person. And it's not even a woman. Just see that person through a lens of being a human being first. Why do you have to label people of diverse gender identities or something? Well, be attached to your identity. Although I still do not foster that thing that when you're too attached to your identity, there comes the issue of EGO factors, which I'm going to definitely talk about. But at least see the person from the lens of a human being first. And that's where all of us lack. I'm sorry to say.
No, I mean, you're right. The truth is harsh sometimes, but it needs to be said, right? I'm going to close off with this one last question for you. We spoke a lot about stigma, silence, conditioning. How do we break this stigma? How do we begin to solve this issue that has been around for so many years?
I would rather say centuries, actually.
Centuries. No, for sure, you're right.
But I think the main thing that's going to start, no policy, no political effect or action can change this. If we think, oh, well, if the policies are in place, or if we start, well, they can complement your efforts. But one strongest thing that's going to start is with you. If you as women, please stop propelling this cycle of hushness, of silence, and periods is something bad, oh, it's dirty. Please start talking about it openly. And when that starts happening in every household, in every family, just imagine the ripple effect it's going to have throughout the world.
Yeah.
It's every country. Imagine in every country, every household is talking about this. Just look at the world then. Just look at the globe.
Yeah.
It's going to be absolutely normalized and okay, well, people are talking about this. There's no rapping in the newspapers. There is no silence around or, silent opening of the pads and things. It has to be open. It's just a part of life. It's a normal part of your process.
Yeah. And if I can add something to that, start using the proper terms. You can say period. You can say menstruation. You can say pad. You can say tampons. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. Using the real words for it rather than saying that time of the month or she's sick, it has power to it.
Exactly.
It holds meaning.
Your brain is listening to those things and the brain thinks, oh, well, okay. Because the brain doesn't know what's right and wrong. It's like a child. The more you feed into the child and be like, well, yeah, this is how the thing has to be done. And the child is going to be like, okay, yeah. Because I don't know how to argue or I don't know how to defend this point. I'm going to take it as it is. And that is the exact way your brain functions. What are you feeding in? What are you putting in? What are the things that you're telling to yourself? And probably standing in front of the mirror and be like, oh, well, I wish I was never a woman. I've seen people talking about that when they have periods and they're like, oh, well, yeah, guys are so lucky they don't have. I wish I was never a woman.
Yeah.
This is the worst thing that anybody can ever say to themselves. It's like, I don't like myself. And that's what we were talking about previously in one of the podcasts about self-hate. That's how it creeps in. Everything accumulates and compounds and reaches to a level where it's just hate about oneself. And that's how we propel and we're like, oh yeah, just stay silent, don't talk about it.
Yeah, and everything starts small, right? Change starts small.
Exactly. Change starts small. So does hate.
Yeah.
Start small.
Yeah. And the first person you start with is yourself.
Exactly.
And from there, you'll start seeing change.
Yeah.